Okay, good evening. Reconvening to open session. May I have a motion for that purpose, please?
I'll make the motion to reconvene open session.
That's a motion by Member Tiet and a second by Member Nolenberg. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Now we shall have the Pledge of Allegiance, led by Mr. Nolenberg, please.
Please rise and take the flag. Put your hand over your heart and begin.
Okay, next on the agenda is announcement of actions taken in closed session, and there were no actions taken in closed session. So we will move on to item number 9, which is our special recognitions. And our first one is the 2015 Camellia Festival Royal Family.
I know they were putting them in order.
Good evening, I'm Donna Giorgino. I'm the 2015 Temple City Camellia Festival General Chairperson. Before we get started, I wanted to thank the school district for all your support of the Camellia Festival. This is a great tradition we have here in Temple City, and it wouldn't be possible without the support of the school board, the administration, the principals, the teachers, and all the staff at the school. So thank you very much. And now it is my pleasure to introduce to you the 2015 Camellia Festival Royal Court. We have our banner carriers, Samantha Lopez and Gianni Camara. Banner carriers Maya Becerra and Coben Mota. And now for our royal court, Princess Kate Cone and Prince Landon Pure. Princess Jasmine Z and Prince Blake Skaggs. And our king and queen, Queen Zoe Calianotis and King Gianni Valenzuela. These children were selected from a group of Temple City first graders that took part in our annual play day. They were judged on how well they got along with others, following directions, and each child had the opportunity to answer a question at a microphone. Part of their royal duties include opening our carnival, leading our Camellia Festival parade, and making special appearances. And I was wondering if anybody with the school board had any questions for these children. Why don't you guys turn around and face the school board? And no one has asked them a question yet in all our appearances. I was hoping one of you would have a question for them. Maybe like what is their favorite subject at school or something like that?
Yeah, that could be good. Let's start with what's your favorite subject at school? Okay.
Okay. You want to start here with Johnny?
Social studies.
Wow, that's amazing. So that's 5 math, 2 for science, and PE, art, lunch, and the teacher reads to you. That's excellent. Member Ridley.
Yes, well, I understand you've all been to a number of places and that you represent Temple City. I want to know, what was the most fun event that you have gone to?
The play date.
Yeah.
How do you make snow crowns?
You get to wear the crown.
When they made crowns.
Oh, you made crowns.
They're a good team, aren't they? Oh, you keep thinking, Landon. Making the crown. Zoe. Play day. Gianni. Play day. Blake. Play day. Open. Making the crown. And I'm surprised nobody said the ice cream. Forgot about the ice cream? Okay, I would also like to introduce, well, you probably already know her, but Nanette Fish, our festival director. She does a wonderful job with this event each year, and she's right here to my right. And then I'd like to ask the parents of the children, if you could please stand too, and we could recognize them. And Mr. Pomeroy, I was wondering if you could take a minute and explain to the children what it is that you do. Not you personally, but you as a board.
Right. Mr. Bell, what is it that I do? We're the school board for the school district. Are all of you in our school district, or are some of you not? Okay, most of you?
Most of them are.
Most of you, okay, go to school either at Longden or at La Rosa or at Emperor. Yeah? Who goes to Emperor? All right. La Rosa? All right. Longden? Okay. No one at Longden? Okay. All right. And other fine schools too. What we do here, we set policies, we make decisions about the schools, what's taught at the schools. We look at the money, where the money's going, where it's not going, what should we do with the money. We have public meetings like this where we hear from the public as to what we should do. And then the 5 of us, the board members, we work with the administrators who are there on a day-to-day basis. But the 5 of us, we have other jobs. So we just come for these meetings and communicate periodically so that decisions are made, and then the wonderful people who work for the schools can put all of those decisions into action. So among other things, we're trying to sort out now what kind of classes might be for you in high school or in junior high, which seems like a really long way away. Anybody have a brother or sister in high school? Or junior high, maybe?
Samantha does.
Yeah,
Raise your hand,
okay.
Samantha.
Well, you know, high school will be a little different when you get there. So we're trying to improve it all the time. So that's a little bit about what we do. But I want to say, if I may, that, you know, I've been to your coronation, and I was very impressed with all of you, and very impressed with all of you today as you come in, the way you carry yourselves, you're great representatives of the community. I think this will be a really great experience that you'll remember for the rest of your lives, and not only yourselves, but your parents. You know, these are units that are showing significant community involvement, and that doesn't just stop after something like this. I know these are families that are very committed to our community, and that's what makes Temple City great. So thanks to all the families.
Oh, did you want to take some pictures? Okay, can we get a few pictures with the school board?
Of course.
Okay, do you want to have them turn around?
center of the kids. There we go.
Facing
That's
forward, or are
perfect.
we turning it all?
No, that's great. No, that's fine, right there. Okay, everybody ready? Take your hand out of your pocket, Deanna. There you go. Okay, everybody all, hold your bouquet in front of you, sweetie.
Okay, right in front.
Not in front of him. There we go. All right, okay, we're ready. Okay, smile real big. Perfect, thank you. All right.
Hold on, parents. Okay, hold on. Okay, come on, parents.
The paparazzi finished. All right. Congratulations.
I wanted to do a quick commercial while I'm up here. There's going to be a lot of great things going on at this year's Camellia Festival. There's a few things that have ties to the school, so I thought I'd mention those. On Saturday night, we're going to have an all-year Temple City High School reunion. We had one last year. It was really great, and we're having it again this year, and I think we're going to have a wonderful turnout for that. On Sunday at 12 o'clock, we're going to be honoring Temple City's World War II veterans with an event at the park and under the tent. And one of the students from the Doug Sears Learning Center, Riley O'Brien, is making a film about the veterans, telling their stories, and we're going to be showing that film. And I want to encourage, we have a lot of students here tonight, the students and teachers, this is a great opportunity. You'll probably never have an opportunity like this again to meet these World War II veterans. We have some amazing people that did amazing things right here in Temple City. So I want to encourage everybody to come out and see that. Then at 2 o'clock on Sunday, the Temple City High School Roadshow for 42nd Street is going to be performing. That's always really a lot of fun. And at 6:30 on Sunday, Temple City High School grad Mia Furman, fresh from The Voice, is going to be performing. And she was wonderful last year, and I'm sure she'll be even better this year. So mark your calendars for the 20th through the 22nd. You can spend the whole weekend there. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Donna. We know the level of commitment that this takes, just the areas of involvement that she shares that are opportunities for the community. That's just a small part of what Donna and Nan do for our community. So thank you both very much. And it sounds like I don't have to worry about how to fill my time on that weekend. So, and we just have a little token on behalf of the school board for the Royal Court. I'm going to give those to you, and you can give them some in later. And we want to thank you very much for coming tonight. We're very proud of you. And I don't know if you noticed that Mr. Kuhnha dressed just like you guys in honor of the court. So let's hear from Mr. Kuhnha for doing that as well. Thank you, Lan. Thank you, Donna. Thank you, parents.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, and what does everybody say?
Thank you.
A little bit louder, one more time.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nan and Donna. Wow. All right, well, you didn't think we could top that, but we can. Also, special recognition tonight, participants from the school district in the 2015 Rose Parade. Ms. Breen, I will join you.
Well, the first graders set a nice example for you, so if you just come and line up right here for us. We have a number of you that are here tonight, so if you just come up, we want to just say a couple words about you. So come on up. We had in the parade, as I mentioned, at an earlier meeting, we were very well represented this year in the Rose Parade, Emily. And I think we're missing, Thomas, come on up as well. Let's have everybody, all the high school students that were involved. So I thought, I knew you were tucked in back there. Well, we're just extremely proud of what, how you represented our school district. And also, I wasn't aware of the level of involvement. I knew about Emily and Mackenzie, obviously I knew about the band, but then on parade morning, just before the sun came up, I saw Calvin shivering in the Tournament of Roses driveway, and I said, Calvin, I didn't know you were here. And he says, yeah, there's a bunch of us here from Temple City. So we ended up finding out who our recipients were that received the honor of not only Gold Award Scouts, but also Eagle Scouts. We had the drum majors represented our student ambassadors from Temple City as well as Emily and Mackenzie. So it was an excellent showing, and so part of what we wanted to do was have you come tonight, just share your name and what involvement you had. I could do that for you, but that's less embarrassing. So Janabelle, we'll start with you.
Okay, my name is Janabelle Pang, and I was the student ambassador along with Luisa. And we just went to a lot of the events that the Tournament of Roses held, and we acted as a support group for a lot of the events that happened.
So I'm Louise Chang, and I was a student ambassador, and like Janelle said, we worked a lot of the events that the tournament held, and it was really fun to do, like Girl Scout night, or we worked at the floats, and we worked things like Band Fest and Quest Fest, and it was a really good experience, and we got like a lot of hours. We got like 80 community service hours. It's very rewarding.
I'm Calvin, and I was a banner carrier for the Eagle Scout and the Girl Scout tournament troop. And what we did was we showed up at 3 a.m. and then by sunrise, jackets off, and we were just kind of held the banners.
Did you walk in the parade march at all or anything like that?
Yeah, we held the parade, or we held the banner.
My name's Arshida, and I was also in the 2015 tournament troop. And basically, we just, like he said, we held the banners and we were marching in the parade. And we got to go to some events too, like there was a scouting dinner and a breakfast, and yeah, it's fun.
I'm Janine, and I was also in the tournament troop with Calvin and Rashida. And yeah, like they said, we just carried the banners and we like marched along the parade route. And there were also other events like before the parade that we attended, and that was really fun too.
Hello everyone, I'm Emily Stoker. I'm from the 2015 Tournament of Roses Royal Court, and basically the 7 of us got the opportunity to attend over 100 events from October to December and just go out and speak in the community and visit some schools and hospitals. So it was an amazing experience. I really enjoyed it.
Hi everyone, I'm Thomas Leong. I'm the Pride of Temple City head drum major, and we worked hours on that.
Hi, I'm Victoria Chavez. I'm the Pride of Temple City's assistant drum major, and as Thomas said, we spent hours preparing everyone in the band to do what they did on the first.
And no one fainted at the end of the parade, and several of the students told me, oh, it wasn't as tiring, that wasn't too bad. And that means you were well prepared, so we're extremely proud of you. I went to the tournament house, and we put together a little gift bag for you. There's a tile with the tournament house in there for you to give to your families, and then there's also a track light for you with the tournament emblem on it. So that was as a gift from President Rich Shenin to you. So we're very proud of you. Thank you for being here tonight. Mr. Pomeroy is going to assist me in giving you, we also have just a little thank you card for you as well as your gift. Okay, so if you just join us over here again, thank you so much for being here. Let's go to our students.
I heard you practicing from my house. Thank you for being such a wonderful ambassador for many.
Thank you. Ms. Annabelle, please have yours. We're very proud of you. Thank you. Thanks for being here tonight.
Thank you.
Thanks.
We got a picture of them with you?
Sure.
Before they head out, I would like to personally extend my appreciation and for the job you've done representing our district. And for the Gold Award and Eagle Scout, I'd like to congratulate you on your scouting's highest honor. So it's quite an accomplishment, and something you'll hang on to for your entire life. So great job.
Let me just pipe in and just say, everything that we do up here, and I haven't been doing it as long as some of these other folks, but, working for the younger kids and setting up programs and doing all these things, making sure that our schools are trying to meet the needs of our students. It all culminates when we see such amazing young people who are confident and proud of themselves and put themselves out there and go to 100 events representing the community. I mean, wow. When you had so many other things to do. So it's a great reflection on our community, so thank you. And it makes us feel good that we've developed you, and of course it wasn't all our doing, but it makes me happy to see you all. Are we picturing?
Picturing.
Come on.
Turn the back around so the tournament shows from the front.
We also have posters, lots of posters that I picked up. So if anybody wants extra posters, wallpapers for rooms, they're all in this.
Well, since it's an inspiring story, could we have a poster right
Sure.
there?
That sounds inspiring.
Great. Terrific. Okay, make sure I can see everybody's face. Good, perfect. Good. Keep smiling real big. Perfect, thank you.
Thank you. I don't want to have to take
Okay, wow, well, the only way to top that is with our board comments, which are coming. But before we get there, we have public comment on agendized and non-agendized items. Are there any requests for public comment? No? Anyone out there? Okay, moving on. Item number 11, update on district business issues, business services. Ms. Sorrell.
Good evening, nothing to report tonight.
Thank you. Instructional services, Dr. Franciscini.
Yes, 2 items. First, Plug into Education Parent Forum was held last Thursday at the high school. We'd like to thank the board for its support of that evening. A few board members were in attendance. We had 2 fabulous speakers, Mr. Mike Lynn and Dr. Lila Bronson, and we hope to represent the event either later in this year or the beginning of next year, where we continue our conversations with Common Core. As you know, we're kicking off testing season, and this is a completely different test this year, and it will be scored differently from those of past years, known as the CSTs. And so the more we communicate and message that to the parents, I think the better understanding they'll have. In addition to that, wanted to inform the board that we're kicking off summer school, and so we will be sending out teacher applications at the end of February, and they'll be due back March 6th. And so once we have our teachers and our students in place, we'll return to the board for approval. Thank you.
Thank you. And personnel services, Mr. Kuhnhauer.
Just wanted to share that it looks like we might be getting very close to filling our vacant personnel commission seat. We have one of our parents in the district, Maria Garner, who who showed interest in it. We are hoping that the commission will appoint her in the March meeting after a public hearing to be held in February. So keep our fingers crossed.
Thank you. Okay, moving on. Bargaining unit comments. Are there any bargaining unit comments? Okay, Ms. Morrison.
Yes, I'm delighted because I missed my turn last meeting. Could you guys zoom through everything? So thank you for taking it a little slower, and I'm glad we're not having any more photos. I just wanted to take 2 weeks ago the opportunity to thank the board, but especially thank Marianne Sorrell and her department for the amazing work they did in getting out retro checks, getting the raise all figured into the checks that we received, and members were very, very delighted to get that little bonus. And we wouldn't have gotten it if it wouldn't have been for Marianne's great department and Heather Endow and everybody working really hard. So thank you. Thank you.
Appreciate all your thanks.
Moving on, student board member comments. Our student board member is not able to make it this evening due to a competing obligation, so we'll move straight to item 14, board member comments. Who would like to go first? Member Chet?
I guess I'll start.
Okay.
Hello, wifey.
For those who don't know.
Only now, my lovely better half. You want to be colored? Check up on me. It is. Well, actually, I did attend an event over the weekend at Clover, the Science Olympiad Invitational, because it's an opportunity for our Science Olympiad team and Clover to compete with, I believe, 5 other schools. And it was a great turnout, and I just want to thank Steve Neto, Mr. Alan Wong, and Ms. Lynn for coming and volunteering and helping to set up, and then as well as I think the staff members at Clover, they put on quite a show for the kids. Valentine's coming up, so happy Valentine's to all those who I guess are fortunate enough to have a Valentine. And that's it. Thank you for coming.
Thank you. Member Nolenberg.
I'd just like to thank the Royal Court for their presence today, and also for the Rose Parade participants. Also, I attended the Science Olympiad in Cloverly. Found it very interesting to see the 5 schools, and even though it was an invitational, and the real one is in the 28th of this month. Unfortunately, is at what? What's at Oxnell College. And so I probably will not be able to make that one. But also at San Marino, this 28th is also another science type thing.
Is it Odyssey of the Mind?
Yeah, Odyssey of the Minds. It'll be the first time I've been to one of those. I also was at Plug-in Education. I found it very interesting, especially the cyber safety items that were stressed. I don't think people realize some of the problems that cyber and the internet pose for a lot of people. And also there was a National Science Bowl at JPL, which was not open to the public, but Arcadia won that. Temple City participated along with West Covina and a lot of other San Gabriel Valley school districts. That led to them being able to go to Washington, D.C. So the science is more, there's more and more programs for science out there helping the different student activities that we hopefully will be supporting. Also, the City Council voted on or discussed putting a percentage for artwork, which would be for developers, and they would have to pay a fee, like a small percentage, to help support art in Temple City. Hopefully, something that we could look forward to maybe help participate in at high school or other levels. And that's it.
Okay, thank you. Member Ridley.
Thank you. I'd also like to thank the Royal Court and the Rose Parade participants and actually tournament participants. participants because they participated in so many different events. It's just a great representation of our community. I'm very proud of all of them. Thank you.
Thank you. Member Bell.
Much like my other fellow board members, I also am very proud to see our high school students and their achievements. It validates the work that we do up here and the reason for it. So it's a proud moment for them, I could only imagine. So I also attended a portion of the Plug Into Education. I thought Michael Lynn did a fantastic job explaining some ideas about how we could move in the future towards helping our faculty, our students become better acquainted, better integrated with use of technology. Unfortunately, I didn't make it there in time to catch the cyber bullying part. I kind of regret that. And I was at Cloverleaf's Invitational. It was nice to see them, that sense of collaboration with other schools from our neighboring districts competing. I think the kids are excited. They came home with first place, so I was really proud of them. And now they're looking forward to seeing thousands of schools on the 28th of February as they compete in Occidental College at the elementary level. And Camellia Festival, floats are in full swing, that's all I can tell you. Every weekend, you come visit me at Cloverleaf. This would be the last week. Also Founders Day, I have to keep doing this because I am the chairman this year, so the chairperson. And preparations are underway. We are looking to having another fantastic event. And again, the more I get involved in this, even though I've been volunteering with the PTA for so many years, it gives myself, from a personal perspective anyway, a greater sense of appreciation of all the work that we all do as families, as parents, as teachers and administrators and whatnot. And again, echoing what my other fellow board members have said, this is why Temple City is such a great place to be at. So, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, well, I would echo a lot of my fellow board members' comments. I did attend the Plug Into Education event, which I enjoyed quite a bit, and I appreciate the efforts of all of our administrators who helped to put that on. I know Dr. Francis Shing had a large hand in that, and also Ms. Pranini. So thanks to both of you for doing that. I'm recalling other public events like that we've had over the last several years, and every time we do it, it's very important outreach, and the topics in this forum I very much look forward to hearing, and I learned some. And the cyber safety portion at the beginning, it was great to have the participation of, I believe it was Deputy Zuniga, is that right? Yes, of the Sheriff's Department, to sort of put a face on what can happen, and convey the seriousness of what there is out there. And for those parents who are not able to attend, I know that materials and information is available to them, and I certainly hope that they will seek it out. I'm going to echo Ms. Maury's comments and thank our esteemed finance department for getting out checks and other things to our staff, because, honoring our staff and telling them that they're important to us, you can do that by saying, you're important to us, or you can do it through other actions. And, we're a collection of people who provide excellent services, and all the buildings we're building, it really comes down to the people involved, as it has for decades. And so I'm glad that we showed some respect in that way, and that was appreciated. And what else can I say? Oh, the basketball teams. I'm sure that our student board member would mention, if she were here, that both of our men's and our boys and girls basketball teams, I believe, in the top 10 of the Pasadena Star News, and both look like they might make the playoffs, which they both did last year. So let's go Rams. And finally, for the benefit of my colleagues here, I will be attending a board president's workshop March 14th, so you have one more board meeting before I'm fully trained and operational. Okay, I believe next we have superintendent's comments.
Thank you, Mr. Pomeroy. I've just a couple things to share with you tonight. After we pass these around, maybe we can pass them on to the audience as well. The students that we honored tonight were featured in the Rampage last month, so if you didn't have a chance to see that article, it's really a nice representation. And then Mrs. King provided for me Halftime Magazine, and Temple City is featured in here as well. So I'll send that around to some great coverage for our students. Our water polo team is just a couple games away from being league champions officially. Correct? Yes? They're going to win, and we have to make sure they can play that last game. That's what the kids told me yesterday. We're going to get it, but we have to play one more game. So, I attended the superintendent symposium a week ago. Seems like a year ago now. It was very exciting for me. I spent 2 days at the new superintendent symposium and then 3 days at the old superintendent symposium, and I was able to function in both sides of the symposium. Had a great time, a lot of networking, some wonderful ideas, great opportunities for us going forward in partnership with a lot of other school districts and building on some of the great things we do, some of the great things they do. And I really appreciated the opportunity to network. Made a lot of business connections as well while I was up there, so had a great time doing that. I had the privilege of being the guest at a CTA lunch today. Thank you, Deb, for taking me. They had a speaker that talked about SBAC and how that interfaces with the LCAP, and going forward with our students, what the performance bands truly mean based on the piloting from last year. So it was very interesting. I had read about it before, but to actually see her graphs, and so we'll share that information with our teaching teams and administration as well. And then lastly, we've been spending quite a bit of time in the last little over a month visiting school sites and going site by site through the plans for each of the sites and the facilities and the bond dollars, and we'll be coming back to the board soon once we ascertain what we can do, what was part of the bond, what the dollars look like, and what our deliverables are going to be. And so we'll be coming back to the board with a proposal after we craft and get our ideas formulated, then taking those to the sites. Not really changing anything that we're doing within the scope of the bond, but hopefully being able to deliver a bit more by making some stronger decision making than perhaps was done prior. So we'll be coming back to you hopefully within a month with the thoughts and ideas that we have that we feel are the deliverables. So Dale Schaefer is now moving almost completely into working with the bond since we're beginning to have things start to come out of DSA, and also he has the history and background, knows when things were actually put in, able to find the information that we need, so we're able to maximize some of the things that we have existing that were destined to be demolished or removed and things like that, that we feel we could utilize and be better stewards of the money that the community has entrusted in us. So that's kind of a quick update of some of the things we're working on and the other things that we're proud of. So thank you. Oh, the tickets. I just happened to have pancake breakfast tickets for the Kiwanis Club. And just looking on ahead, there's also a raffle. Just looking ahead to the barbecue. I already have raffle tickets for the July 18th barbecue. You get those now, you might have a better chance. And Jerry's right here. He might bend the corner of the ticket and pull it for you later. So the Kiwanis, as you know, is very supportive of everything we do in Temple City, and so when I can, I attend the Kiwanis luncheon, but I promised I'd sell tickets, and so I guess if I don't sell them, I'll be eating a lot of pancakes. So, anyway, so I have those. And it's, children are $3 and adults are $6. Yes? Okay, so thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Creamy. Okay, moving on, written communications, are there any written communications? Anybody? No? Okay. Then at 7:43, are we slightly ahead of schedule? Moving on to our discussion action agenda. Item number 17. May I have a motion to approve the retirement resignation notification incentive program?
So moved.
Motion by member Tiet and second by member Nolenberg. How shall we proceed with this?
I just want to make a brief comment. This is in no way an effort to get people to retire. We know that the amount is not sufficient enough to make people change their minds and go ahead and retire, and that's not what our goal is. We simply want to just make sure that we acknowledge those individuals who are going to retire this year after many, many years of service by giving them a small token of our appreciation, but also allowing us the time to plan accordingly to fill those positions. And so that's the reason why it's an early notification incentive. But again, we would be lost if everybody who could retire actually took advantage and did retire, and that's not what the intent is at all.
And if I could just inquire, the timelines that are mentioned in the report as far as the dates of notification by a certain date would have a higher benefit, notification the next period would have a not as high a benefit. Are those dates then associated with when that recruitment benefit might accrue to the district?
Yes, as a matter of fact, a lot of our universities are starting to plan their job fairs now, and I will be attending a few of those. USC is just one. I know one of our board members is now going to be a new member of the USC Trojan family.
I'm sorry, who is that?
That would be Mr. White.
You know, I was going to ask the kids, that was going to be my question, USC or UCLA, and then you should have. That was my last question. Didn't get that.
But it will coincide with our efforts to start recruiting.
Okay, other questions? Member Tiet.
Just for the record, I've been invited to join the Trojan family. I have not accepted. I'm still considering. Yes, I'm still considering that. I don't know if the Trojan family is worthy.
Okay, I think we're only slightly sidetracked. It's my own fault. On this subject, questions or comments? Is this a good idea, my fellow board members? Anybody want to speak up about it?
Sure, well, I think just the advantage of being able to plan for replacements. We have many very talented, dedicated, long-term teachers that, of course, would rather not lose, but if they've made their decision and can inform us earlier, it's very beneficial to the district.
Member Tiet.
And I agree with that, because, again, it allows us to go out and see the cream of the crop, of the new crop that's out there. And the sooner we can go out doing that, the better opportunity we can get to have top-notch young teachers come into our district. So I'm in full support of this program.
And I would just add that, you know, we recently were in touch with some friends of ours who moved out of the area and moved to another local district, which I won't name. But one comment that the parents made was that at their elementary school here, which happened to be Longden, there was a real consistency of strength they felt among the teachers. You know, different teaching styles, but a real consistency of strength in terms of experience and quality and dedication. And they didn't quite find that at their other districts. So I hope that this would help us to maintain those levels, which again we built up over many, many years. Any other questions or comments? Okay, hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That's 5-0. Moving on. Item number 18. for which we have a separate packet here. May I have a motion, please, to approve the annual certification of school site council's approvals of their safe school plans for each of our 7 schools as enumerated here on our agenda. May I have such a motion, please?
So moved. I'll second it.
Okay, motion by member Nolenberg and second by member Tiet. And Dr. McGuire.
I just want to make a special note, this is our annual certification, and this is our first major revision of the school, safe school plans in about 12 years. We're using the LA County Office of Education template, which brings us in line with current education code in regards to school safety and climate, etc., and also current case law in regard to that.
Okay, and so without putting you too much on the spot, you're not a lawyer, but at least as far as I know, you're not a lawyer. I mean, I've looked through the plans, briefly, but as far as you know, they meet the requirements that
They
we
meet
have.
the requirements of education code, all of the elements are there. In addition, even as of December, there was a lawsuit back in the fall in regard to bullying. And so we added another thing at the urging of LACO in regards to bullying to make sure that we were covering what was the findings of that lawsuit.
Thank you. Questions, comments? Member Nolenberg?
There's a series of references to different board policies.
Correct.
And for those who want to look them up, they can see it on the website?
Yes, they're all on the website, and all I have to do is go to the school board section and find this.
Okay. Other questions or comments? I want to thank you for your assistance in helping to prepare those documents. Okay, all in favor? Aye. 5-0. Okay, moving on. Item number 19. What's that? You were suggesting that I stall?
No,
I'm trying to show your esteemed family member that when you're not in charge, we can move ahead a little bit.
Oh, man.
Are you going to be missing a couple meetings? We'll be done at 8 o'clock. Okay, well, item number 19 is, I'll just read the item, 2015 CSBA Delegate Assembly Election for Subregion 23A. And as the memo states, there are 2 candidates from nearby school districts for 2 spots. And we have the option, as I understand it, to vote for both of them, vote for one of them, or vote for nobody. So I guess I'll take a motion if there is one, or do we want to discuss at all what to do? Member Ridley?
I'll make a motion that we vote in favor of both. I think it serves us to have both positions filled by people that will advocate for students and the things that we need as a school district.
And I'll second that motion. So that's a motion by Member Ridley and a second by myself. This is a dumb question, Member Bell, but the Kenneth Bell, they're no relation to you, is that right?
Not that I'm aware.
Okay. I don't know any of those 2 folks personally, but their qualifications seem to be appropriate. Any further questions or comments about that? Okay, all in favor? Aye. Okay, that's 5-0. Okay, item number 20, receive for second reading and approve revised policies, bylaws. So, may I have a motion, please, to receive for second reading and approve the following revised board policies or bylaws? That would be Board Policy 6174, Education for English Language Learners, and Board Bylaw 9200, Board Members' Authority and Responsibilities.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Member Tiet and second by Member Nolenberg. Questions or comments? We had a chance to look at this in our first reading.
The only thing that I would add is the board members' authority and responsibilities is a result of when we had our governance workshop, and we talked about language and what we, within CSBA recommendations, what we were comfortable with, and that's the only change that you see there with the information that was requested to be adjusted.
And as I recall, our discussion there, and specifically we're looking at, let's see, 9200B, the top of the page, there's a line that's struck through. What's struck through says the board member should inform the superintendent or designee before volunteering in his or her classroom. And we did have a discussion about that language. So, but the rest of the language addresses the board member's role in relation to the district, and that the board member should be aware of their role when interacting with district employees, especially about their own child. I guess I would just, there was one place I wanted to highlight. Let's see. Oh yes, and this is not to remind my board members, but just, and this is language that, you know, I'm sure has been in board policies in the past, but looking at 9200A, that individual board members do not have the authority to resolve complaints, and that section. And you know, I want to say I'm pretty proud of this board so far and how we've done our job, but I want us all to really sort of take to heart these couple of pages here, because, and building on that conversation that we had at our workshop, I think this really lays out what our role should be, and so I'm glad that we're approving the modified version tonight. Any other questions or comments about these two bylaw policies? No? Okay, so all in favor? Aye. Okay, that's 5-0. Okay, moving on to item 21, which is receiving some board policies for first reading. So may I have a motion to receive the revised board policies for first reading that are enumerated in item 21 on the agenda? So moved.
Second.
Motion by member Tietz, second by member Ridley. Well done. Questions or comments? Member Nolenberg.
Just on the bullying, on C, really, 5131.2C, in the middle of the thing, it talks about the student, the individual believes they've been subject to bullying, and they can file a report. Is there a time frame that they have, like a statute, a limitation they have to file within so many months or weeks?
Not really, no.
Okay, so that they could file even if it happened a couple of years ago?
They could. It'd be harder to do an investigation in that case, but yes, they could.
But there is no, there's no statute?
I have not seen any.
Okay.
Yes, go ahead.
And the other one on the tobacco, is e-cigarettes covered?
Yes.
Is electronic?
There's a separate paragraph for that.
This is the only paragraph on that. Okay.
On the bottom, do you see it there?
Huh?
There's a separate paragraph on the bottom there. Electronic, in the same section, but below the general section about smoking.
Okay, student possessed or?
Yeah, or use of electronic cigarettes,
Okay,
hookahs.
that's the same as e-cigarettes?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay.
Going back to the bullying, I guess I just, you know, how much time do we have? We're ahead of schedule, right, number 10?
There's only, 3 minutes for this?
3 minutes for this? The vice president's gonna cut me off. I guess I just wanna ask in general, I mean, as far as, you know, conduct, you know, happening off campus and the bullying that may have occurred off campus, or the cyberbullying, is this policy well, how does this policy help us, and can you just maybe give us a little perspective as to whether it's something that already is taking up a lot of staff time?
Number one, it helps us because it clarifies bullying, etc. If something happens off campus, let's say it happens over the weekend, and there's a nexus with what happens at school, then it's under our purview. So if bullying takes place, internet bullying takes place, and it affects what's happening in the classroom on the activities, we can deal with that. So that's covering that. As for the amount of time spent by staff, we do a good job, I think, educating the students and the teachers to look for it, and they intervene quickly, and very little, I think, gets beyond what happens in the classroom and what the site administrators deal with. I've only had 2 or 3 cases in the last 2 years that have come up to me for bullying to that level.
And could I just ask, like, what would make it come up to you?
They weren't satisfied with how the site administration had handled it.
And just to add to that, the counseling and guidance department deals with students and tries to prevent so that things don't. And a lot of times we find that students, because bullying is used so freely now as part of our culture, as a term, that oftentimes that's the nice thing too about the clarity in this language. And sometimes it comes to an instance where we have to, you know, because especially with sometimes a student will go home and say, well, they're bullying me, and so the family doesn't really understand. It may be that that student is just, that it's typical of younger students following each other around, irritating. So we try to work with all the students to clarify. It's the same with the secondary students. Well, was it bullying? What does that really entail? And that oftentimes will help us realize if bullying really occurred or if it's really an incident of they're just not getting along. And so, so that I think is where a lot of time is spent, is the clarity, because bullying, every time you put the, you know, there's a news broadcast or something on a show or whatever, there's talking about bullying. And so for a lot of our students, it's very convoluted. And teaching the students to not to be victims, you know, how to address certain situations as they occur so you don't become a victim of bullying.
My last comment, I think, would be in this board policy 5144.1 sub B, suspension and expulsion due process. I note the language regarding not suspending for willful defiance unless suspension is warranted by repetitive behavior, etc. So that certainly appears to conform with some recent changes in the law, so I appreciate that change. Thank you. Other comments or questions? No? Okay. The motion is to receive these for first reading. All in favor? Aye. Okay. Consent agenda. These are routine items that may be approved by one motion and one vote. Did I miss something? Okay. They may be approved by one motion and one vote unless a member of the board or a member of the audience, I note that it doesn't say a member of anyone else sitting up here, only the board or the audience, requests that any item be reviewed and voted upon separately. So, first of all, are there any requests to address any of these items separately? No? Okay. May I have a motion then to approve the consent items as listed on the agenda, items 22 through 27?
So moved.
Motion by member Tiet and second by member Nolenberg. Comments, questions? I would just say thank you. I mean, I know this is a proclamation we probably do every year at this time, but Arts Education Month, in the month of March, arts education being near and dear to my heart. So, and when we see these things, they come up, and then later on I realize, hey, that month happened, you know, a month or two ago. So I'll just make a general request for some information to us, maybe as whether any particular recognitions are made to teachers, or if anything specific is done to recognize that. I'd appreciate hearing about it. Thank you. Other questions or comments? Okay, I do believe that this includes a resolution, which means roll call vote. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Immediate Past President?
Yes, Mr. Current President.
Okay.
And my young apprentice.
I will be fully operational in 3 weeks. Okay. May I have a roll call, please?
Mr. Bell?
Yes.
Mr. Nolenberg?
Yes.
Mr. Pomeroy?
Yes.
Mr. Ridley?
Yes.
Mr. Tiet?
Yes.
Okay, moving on. Item 28, board requests for information or future agenda items. Member Bell.
I do have a comment, and it's not a request or anything. It's in my previous board comments, and I neglected to mention this. As chairman of this year's Founders Day, I wanted to congratulate the Kiwanis Club for being awarded the Golden Oak Award, which is the highest award that the PTA can give to any individual or organization. And without any doubt, they absolutely deserve this for their decades and decades of selfless contribution to the children in this community. And I also want to congratulate Ms. Perini for being selected by the Council of PTA as an honorary service award recipient. Congratulations. So I neglected to mention those earlier, so thank you.
Also, Kiwanis member.
And Kiwanis member, that's correct. I will have to buy some tickets from you.
Thank you. Other requests for information or future agenda items? I have one request for information, and this is in my head, and I just don't recall whether this was presented to us in any organized manner. So if it has been, I apologize. But I would like to understand, what our athletic facilities are being used for outside of school hours, and I know some of it's done at the local level, but in general, to whom are we renting our facilities, and how are we being compensated for that? So that's a request for information. Member Tiet, nothing?
I think along those lines, I think at one point we were studying our the facility use contract, the facility use, the fees that we were charging folks to use our facilities. Maybe if we can, at some point, get an update on that study and see where we are, if our rates need to go up, go down, stay the same, whatever it is. Thank you.
Thank you.
And if I could just interject, we are working on it. It's a bit of a lengthy process because of some of the record keeping that we're still working through. And then we'll be able to come back to you with not only the use requests outlined, but also recommendations for costs.
Great, thank you.
Okay. Yeah, we don't get to discuss or deliberate, but information is welcome. Thank you. Member Nolenberg, we'll go around.
Just a couple of, one of is, this relates to the budget, is to have a master list of all the maintenance that needs to be done for the next 5-10 years, so that we get an idea when we do our budget, what kind of money we should be putting up for that, along with the whenever we add a presentation on the retirement unfunded liability. And a third one maybe is some report on utilities. Even though we get the vouchers reported, so it shows us the different bills, it doesn't show how much each school is spending on utilities. And that's, I think, the second or third largest charge that we incur right now. And then one other one is, and this one is more for the community. What the school district, even though we're not part of it, what is the school district, or what can it do to help with the stormwater runoff problem that the city's now going to be facing for the next 20, 30 years? Is there anything we can do to help the community in a sense to meet some of the obligations? All these long term.
Okay. Member Bell, did you have your hand up?
Yeah, I do. Excuse me. This one is just slightly a little bit more immediate. I would like to know if we have any current plans in place to do a major stress test on our network, given with SBAC coming up. I know we don't have all of our equipment and stuff, but when we do, I'd like to see us at least try and overload the system at all the sites simultaneously, just to see where our breaking points are and make sure that everything is A-okay from, those weeks when the kids have to take the actual test. I'm just curious. I'm sure we're going to be fine. I just like to hear a little bit about it in the future.
Okay, so information about that?
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else? Okay, I think that's it. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So second.
That's a motion by Member Ridley with a second by Member Tiet, who has a lovely escort out for this evening. All in favor? Aye. Thank you, everyone.